these are beliefs that I was not lovable unless I was skinny. That's what was really driving me. And it's what's really driving a lot of people, honestly. And because of that, they overstrain themselves. They overspend their energy. They overstress themselves. We are the hardest to see ourselves. So you need somebody, you need a coach that can mirror this to you, can show you all of your patterns of how you don't take care of yourself, why you don't take care of yourself, because there's these internal, underlying, deep-seated beliefs and fears around putting yourself first, okay, of taking care of yourself. You got to embody somebody that actually loves themselves, that actually feels worthy of taking care of themselves through proper food, through proper exercise, through rest.
Welcome back, you guys, to another episode of the Beyond the Scale podcast. I am your host, Katherine, and today we have a very special guest. We have Natalie Newhart, who has spent the last 15 years as an online nutrition and fitness coach for women over 30 who are tired of making their body goals so difficult to achieve and such a chore to maintain. She is a former professional athlete and physique bodybuilder. She's no stranger to dragging herself through workouts, forcing herself to follow the plan regardless of how she feels, and counting every single calorie, step, and rep. This way of living resulted in her in the hospital at the age of 30 and was diagnosed with hypothyroid, adrenal fatigue, stress-induced menopause, stress-induced diabetes, and rapidly gaining weight. She was one of the fittest athletes in the world and at the same time, one of the sickest. Doctors told her that she needed to find a way to not stress out if she wanted to gain her health and well-being back. The traditional stress management approach of walking more, meditating, taking naps, these all failed to create any change and didn't serve her body goals either. It wasn't until she started to do the internal work on herself did she start to see the changes that she was looking for. So welcome to the podcast, Natalie. All right, so the doctors are telling you you're so stressed out, you need to reduce your stress, but yet you're healthy. Like you're an athlete, you're going to the gym, you think you are taking care of yourself. What was the mindset in that moment when you're in the hospital and they're telling you that? And what was your first step?
Yeah, I'm so glad you actually said that. Because that's the thing, is that I thought that was love. I thought that was self-care, right? And yeah, it's crazy. It's gone completely full circle now. But essentially, yeah, the doctors told me that I needed to lay off the gym more. Sorry, I've got the hiccups. Lay off the gym more and yeah, take more rest days, like walk more, take some naps, like basically just ease off the gym. Yeah. And that really scared the shit out of me, to tell you the truth. It wasn't so much of a big deal for me to like not compete. I was driving with so much fear of getting fat. That was my reasoning for working out. One of them. The other one was to feel the best, to be the best, right? I wanted to win. I wanted to go to the games. I wanted to be the best because I didn't love myself. I didn't have any self-love. I needed people to look up to me. I needed people to see me a certain way. I needed people to compliment me. And then also I believed that just from growing up that I was just deathly afraid of getting fat. I was afraid of gaining weight because I remember my dad like making comments about, just larger people. And I remember my mom was definitely afraid of being heavy. She got that surgery where like she gets her stomach shrunken. So these are beliefs that I was not lovable unless I was skinny, right? Those were beliefs that were driving me unconsciously this whole time. I didn't realize it then. I mean, like I was kind of aware of it, but like, because I'd like freak out if I took a rest day because I was so afraid that I was going to gain weight. Okay. So this is important to know because that's what was really driving me. And it's what's really driving a lot of people, honestly. And because of that, they overstrain themselves. They overspend their energy. They overstress themselves. So it was very hard when the doctors told me that, oh, you need to lay off more, right? You need to walk and meditate and, take some more rest days. And I'm like, okay, but like, I did it because I was afraid of continuing on and just gaining more weight. Like obviously that was not working. I was working myself to the bone. I couldn't work any harder and I was gaining weight. So I had to do something different because remember, like my biggest fear was gaining weight. So I did the other thing. I actually, because I didn't think that I could actually get myself to not go to the gym for 2 weeks because that's what they recommended. I ended up going camping. I was like, I got to go camp. I got to go get myself in somewhere where I'm not looking at Instagram. I'm not thinking about the gym or, have the ability to go to the gym. So we went dirt biking for 2 weeks, and then I came back and I started to kind of get back into the gym again, and it worked, right? The weight came off, but the thing is, like, so I was doing like walking and like less volume in the gym, right? And it worked. The weight came off, but what happened is all that energy that I was putting into the gym previously, I just put it into my business. I was like, oh, well, if I'm not going to be at the gym, I'm going to just freaking crush it in the business scene. And I did. And the thing is that later that year, the same thing happened again. I gained all the weight and I was so tired I could barely open my eyes in the afternoon. I gained or like I wasn't eating anymore. It is like I steadily started to gain weight again because of the way that I was driving. That's when I realized, okay, all this like meditation and walking and baths and sleeping and stuff didn't work. That's not the problem. The problem was me. The problem was my pattern. The problem was my need to be just crush myself and run myself into the ground. And that wasn't even the problem. I mean, like that was the problem, but the thing that was driving that was my need to be successful, my need to be the best, my need to be seen or be loved, like have my clients love me. So it's like I would overexert myself, like just work 60, 70 hours a week just for my clients to love me because I didn't have any love for myself. This was the root. It all came back down to this, that I didn't love myself. And so I didn't take proper care of myself because I was so busy trying to be liked by other people or trying to be successful, have a lot of money, buy things and do things and stuff like that, as opposed to taking care of myself, as opposed to really listening to how I feel, and eating when I was hungry, going like sleeping in when I needed it, taking a break and just being still, like doing nothing, as opposed to just grinding through my day and through client calls and stuff like that. So I didn't have any boundaries. I didn't know how to take care of myself because I had no love for myself. So that was it. Like once I realized that, I just did so much internal work. Yeah.
That's like such an important message for our audience because like as a woman, especially as a mom, like I can see where a lot of women, they bury themselves in work. They bury themselves in everything that they can so that they can hide from the real problem. They can
Yeah.
hide the way they feel and what they really, really want to do, or like any burning desires that they have, or anything that they're maybe ashamed of, or any guilt that they have inside of them. They bury it. They bury themselves. They hide themselves in everything that they can so they don't have to face it. And that's such an important message to touch on because I can see where that would have been easy in that season of life for you, but also I can see where that's a lot of women, we find ourselves in that. And so how did you get out of it that time? What did you do that second time?
Yeah, so that, and I just want to say, like, it's not even just like with work, like even with kids, like moms are they get their love from others, right? From taking care of the kids, from the husband, from, it's how they feel needed. So it's like they do all these things for others, and at the end of the day, they're completely wiped out, they're completely drained, and they have no energy to take care of themselves. Like going for a walk or doing a meditation or a workout or something, it's like there's no energy there, right? Or like maybe they're really great at working out. So it's just like there's so much energy spent outward, there's nothing coming in. And again, it's like, even with just like taking care of kids, it's like or being a nice person, being a people pleaser, for with friends and stuff. It's like that's how they feel needed. It's how they feel loved as opposed to giving love to themselves. And so that's is why they're always on empty, and this is why they can't lose weight, because there's no that the body's not in balance. It's just stressed out. And it's because they don't feel deserving of love. They don't feel like they can put themselves first. There's some type of guilt there, or belief that, they don't want to be seen as like lazy, or or it's just like, it's just their way of feeling loved, is by giving to others, taking care of others. So which stands in the way of them loving themselves.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's so powerful. So yeah, so how did you get out of that second time? And like, what would you tell somebody that's maybe in that season of life?
yeah, okay. Number one, you're not going to do this on your own.
No.
Like you're not, like, good luck. You're not going to do it, because we are the hardest to see ourselves. So you need somebody, you need a coach that can mirror this to you, can show you all of your patterns of how you don't take care of yourself, why you don't take care of yourself, because there's these internal, underlying, deep seated beliefs, and fears around putting yourself first. Okay, of taking care of yourself. So you do need you need to work with somebody that really understands this deep inner work. So that, because there's layers and layers around why you don't, everybody knows what to do. It like makes me sick actually looking at Instagram. It's like, oh, eat 30 grams of protein every meal and go for a walk and get 7 hours of sleep. It's like, duh, like everybody freaking knows what to do. They can't get themselves to do it because they don't feel deserving of giving themselves that time, to saying no to the kids, or saying no to cooking dinner, right? Like they feel that's what's blocking it. They don't feel deserving enough to give themselves that time, or even to make healthy choices around food. So it's like an embodiment that you must develop, and that's what I did, right? You need to, you got to embody somebody that actually loves themselves, that actually feels worthy of taking care of themselves through proper food, through proper exercise, through rest. So what I did was I started to do a lot of internal training. So I started to do a lot of like, just, yeah, I mean, like really starting to understand myself and my patterns and where they came from. Why did I, why did I feel or have so much fear around gaining weight? Why did I have so much fear around, getting fat? Where did that come from? Right? Like, yeah, society, but mainly it's from my mom and my dad, like the things that they had said, that got really ingrained in there. Why do I feel like I always got to be the best? Like, yeah, like this is kind of a common thing in society to like be the best, and like, because you get all the fame and stuff like that. But it's like really starting to understand where these patterns came from, and you know, and so that I can start to drive from a place of love, of I work out because I love myself, because I want to feel good, not from a place of I'm not good enough unless I'm skinny. I can't be fat, a fear of getting fat. That's two completely different energies. So um yeah, like you have to go in and get those roots, like figure out why you do the things you do. Essentially, why do you do the thing? Why are you so goddamn busy?
Yeah.
Right? Why do you feel like you've got to do it all?
Yeah.
Why won't you give yourself time and proper time to take care of yourself? Why don't you feel deserving of love?
Mm.
That's the stuff that we have to really tend. So like honestly, dude, like there's no like I know you're looking for me to give you a system, or, oh, step 1 do this, step 2 do this, step 3 do this. It doesn't work like that, because everybody's so different. It's really just getting starting to slow down, so that you can start to see why you do the things you do, and then start to reprogram and retrain yourself from a place of self-love,
Mm.
instead of not feeling worthy of, or yeah, instead of not feeling worthy of giving yourself that time and care.
Yeah.
Why do you feel like you've got to cook dinner every freaking night? Why is there so much fear of like saying, why don't you feel deserving to ask, like, hey, can you cook dinner, or can we just order out? Like there's things that are blocking you from taking care of yourself. So everybody's got to start to figure out, why do I do these things? And because everybody just says, oh, I'm just busy, I just got so many things to do. Like, why do you have all those things to do? Why are you doing so many things? And you're going to come down and start to see that, oh, my worth is tied into how productive I am, how much I get done, how busy I am, or how much people need me.
Mm. I
And
love
that's what
so much. This is so powerful. And it's like you're you're giving people permission to internalize the feelings that they have deep down that they've probably never let come to the surface. And I love how you mentioned like just saying why, like why do you feel like you're the one that needs to do this? Why do you even feel like you need to do that at all? And I have experience with that. So after I had my second child, we had our second business. Life was crazy. Like I felt similar to you in that season of my life. I had this breaking point where for some reason, anytime I had to go to the grocery store, it would just drive me nuts. It would set me off because I had so many things to do, but yet I felt like I needed to be the one to go to the grocery store and cook all the meals. And one day I looked at my husband and I said, listen, going to the grocery store stresses me out. My husband's an entrepreneur as well. We work together. We both have crazy schedules. You're the one that's going to go to the grocery store from now on. I'm not going to do it. I will make you a list. I will help you make that list. We'll figure out meal prep together, but I'm not doing it. And when I like offloaded that to him and I didn't have that pressure anymore, that stressor, it made such a difference. And it was the smallest thing, but
Yeah.
for some reason, it was a trigger for me. It set me off. And so I see what you're talking about. Like there's so many things that we internalize that we carry this value towards, but it doesn't, we don't need to put so much emphasis on that. Like we don't need to make that one thing mean so much to us. And I love how you explain that. That's just so powerful.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's, and yeah, it's crazy. Like it's something like that, like just expressing your desires, right? Of what you want, what you don't want to do. Like that is literally the difference between you creating feeling. Are you allowed to cuss on here?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Feeling your fucking best and looking your best versus not like feeling your worst. It's literally like honoring your feelings. Ah, I don't want to go to the grocery store. Great, let's express that. But usually that what holds people back for so long, years, maybe a whole lifetime, is the way is letting go of like this responsibility that makes them feel more worthy or more valuable as a wife or a mom. Or it's a fear of how the husband's going to respond. Oh, well, what is he going to think of me? Is he going to, like, or yeah, is he going to think like I'm just lazy or, I just want to keep the peace. Like there's some type of fear holding you back from expressing what you want to do and what you don't want to do.
Right.
Right. So, and that is the thing. So it's, and that again, that comes down to self-love. Why don't you feel deserving to express your voice of what you want? Your husband probably has no big, he'll express whatever he wants. Why don't you feel deserving? Right. So, and that's one of the things that we work on is conscious expression, expressing from a place of what you truly want and setting those so that you don't overspend your energy like that. Like you said, I've got a million things to do. Like that is what's going to drive you. You overspending your energy is going to be the thing that leads you to overeating, and it's the thing that leads you to not even be able to lose the weight, even if you tried, even if you ate and worked out perfectly. So we've got to learn how to and manage our energy better, which comes from feeling like I'm actually deserving of, not going to the grocery store, cooking every single night, or doing all the things.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a
totally.
great example.
In business, we call them needle movers. Like what are you spending your time on every day that are needle movers in your business that are getting you closer to your goal? But you could also apply that to your personal life and your self-love journey. It's like, what are you doing every day that's getting you closer to feeling like your best self so that you can show up as a great mom, as a wife, as an employee, as a business owner? Or are you spending all of this time doing things that are draining you from the energy that you need to be that best person? So
Yeah.
yes, I love how you mentioned that. So I know that some of our clients at the gym, most of them are on a weight loss journey. They're on a journey to feeling and looking their best, being their best self. And maybe they're not an extreme athlete like you were, and they haven't quite hit that place in their fitness journey where they're completely stressed out or they're having adrenal fatigue or exercise induced menopause. But if somebody was, what are some signs? What are some things that like you noticed or that our clients should maybe watch out for if they are overdoing it? What are some signs that you saw?
Yeah, probably like the quickest one is gonna be like low energy. You shouldn't feel like shit.
Mhm.
Like you should have high energy. Um, But again, like if we're doing things, if we're finding ourselves doing things because we think we should or we need to or we have to, even if it's like something simple as like, oh, I have to track macros, oh, I have to go to the gym. As soon as you start to place that should, need, or have to, that's going to be the thing that drains your energy, which is why it's so important that you come from a place of love. So like we only have so much energy. And like so there's a huge difference between the days where it's like you force yourself to go, oh, I have to go to the gym, versus um oh, you know what, I really want to do this workout, this sounds like fun. Two complete, like you feel completely different after those two things, right? Like that one takes your energy, one increases your energy. So one great way to know like that you are just not managing your energy that great, aka stress, right? um you're going to have low energy, you're going to have aches, you're going to have pains, you're going to have headaches, you're gonna have gas, you're gonna have bloat, you're gonna this is how you get hypothyroid, this is how you get sick, this is how, like, why you don't sleep that well, this is why you get hungry, right? Like you crave carbs, you are eating like really spastically, trying to get it all in at once, all this stuff. Like that's not balance, that's not how we should feel, that's not how we should operate.
Yeah.
We shouldn't eat like an animal. So, yeah, those are all the kind of signs. Like your body is going to let you know when you're not listening, because it's just gonna, like, if you're, and what I mean by that is like not listening to your feelings, so like the way that your body feels. If you're really strict on yourself, like with following certain plans, following certain diet plans and macros, and following a certain workout plan, like I got to do it like this, it's going to show in your body, right? You're going to get aches, you're going to get pains. You probably won't see results. If you're really easy on yourself, if you're like, oh, like I'm just going to be not do anything, right? I'm just going to sit on the couch. It's going to show in your body, right? So it's like if you go too hard, or if you're too strict, or if you're too easy, too relaxed, it's going to show. If you're always counting calories, obsessing over macros and steps, it's going to show in your body.
Yeah.
If you're inflamed and you're ignoring yourself, it's going to show in your body. If you're ignoring your feelings, if you're ignoring how you feel and just trying to get yourself through it, just power through your days, it's going to absolutely show in your body. And it's going to show through aches, pains, headaches, low energy, weight gain, sickness, disease, cancer. This is where all that stuff comes from. It's you not listening to your feelings. This is what stress is.
Mm.
So it's a sign. All this pain, discomfort, lethargy. It's a sign that you're not taking proper care of yourself. And it's only, the thing is, if you don't listen to that low energy, that pain, that discomfort, it's only going to get louder and louder until something happens, right? Until you get like me, until you get to my case where I was like, in the hospital with, stress induced diabetes, stress induced menopause, gaining weight very rapidly. I mean, I was on the road to cancer, I was on the road to sickness and disease, So if you really want to look and feel better, you got to start to learn how to listen to your feelings, which is self-love.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And it's like I'm thinking about it from the lens of a client who they want so bad to lose weight and they want to change their life around, but they want to do everything all at once. We see that a lot. I know you see that a lot. It's like they want to start counting macros, they want to start going to the gym every single day. Oh, they're also going to prioritize sleeping, and they're going to drink all their water, and they're going to give up drinking, and they're going to give up this and that, and they quickly burn out with that plan, even
Yeah.
within the first 6 to 8 weeks. But yet they want it so bad. And I love
And
how
that's
you
the problem.
mentioned, I love how, without saying the word balance, you definitely are alluding to you have to have that balance, and you have to have that self love and respect for your body so that you aren't underdoing it, but not overdoing it. And
Yeah.
in the health and fitness space, like it's hard to talk about balance because like we know that some days like it's very hard to do that. But you do have to have balance to some extent in order for it to work and in order to stay consistent with it forever.
Yeah, exactly. And that balance, like I said, comes from you feeling deserving enough to take care of yourself.
Mm.
So that's self love, right? Whereas this desperation of needing to get the weight off, which is why like I need to get it off as soon as possible. So I'm going to do all the things like you were saying. That is why. Like why the rush? What are we running from? What is the fear? Like so that is you driving, whoever it is, like that's them driving from an unconscious place, a fear driven place, fear of being hating themselves. That's driven from self-hate. I hate myself the way I'm at right now. I've got to get it off. So I'm going to do it all. And as a result of doing it all, you're gonna screw yourself. You're gonna slash your calories. You're gonna work out super hard, and all that energy, you're not getting away with it. Like we think we're getting away. We think we're getting ahead, But the thing is, the body knows. Like it's always an energy. It's always a game of energy. This is a game of energy. So it's like if you slash your calories and you work out super hard, that's a ton of energy coming out that's going to swing back and hit you, and you're going to overeat and you're going to not want to do anything. And there you go. And then you go back to the cycle, and then you say you can't trust yourself. Well, the only reason why you can't trust yourself is because you keep on following the plan because you're not listening to your feelings.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so it does come back. It's balance. Exactly. It's exactly that. It's balance. It's balancing your energy, learning how to be a master of your energy balance. Because if you are not mastering that, it's the body keeps score. Like
Right.
you're not getting ahead. You're not going to get ahead by working harder, working longer. It feels that way in the beginning, and you might think that for the first couple days, but it'll always come back and bite you. So
Yes.
you've got to, so it's learning how to love yourself as you are, accept myself as I am. I am deserving of love and care. And I drive from that place. I eat from that place of self-love. I work out from that place of self-love. I take care of myself from that place. And that is how you get to the body you want, because it's proper care, properly listening to your body, honoring when it's hungry, not eating when it's not, and like working out when you feel good and resting when you don't. Like that is what gets you where you want to go. Yeah.
Yes. What would you tell someone? Because some of our listeners, they are athletes, maybe they're coaches in some of our gyms and our Fit Body Bootcamp locations, and they've been fit and healthy their whole life, but they do feel like they're chronically stressed and they're terrified to lose their health and lose that state of fitness that they're at if they back off from some of the extreme exercise and diet, which I know you have great experience with. What would you tell that person?
So I'd go back to that why question, right? Because clearly, like if they're so afraid, like you said, they're so afraid to lose their fitness, there's fear driving them as opposed to passion.
Mm.
I don't work out anymore to burn calories or to keep my shape. Okay. That is the thing that's going to drive you into being neurotic about food and your steps and your workouts and feeling and like forcing yourself to the gym and having no freedom. Like this is you. Like if you clench your fist, just clench your fist. You
Yeah.
can that tension, that's you trying to control. I can't gain a single pound. I can't, well, I got everything's got to be in control. I've got to hit the macros. I got to do the steps, and I got to work out like this. This is what is going on in your body. And this is how you're going through your day. It's real hard on your body. And usually this kind of driving for women as they get older, it actually stops working. Like you actually start to gain weight, even if you're eating well and working out great. Okay. But, we do this because it feels safe, because I know that, hey, this routine works. I haven't, right now I like the way I look. And so I don't want to let go of my macros. I don't want to let go of like doing less steps or not counting or whatever it is. Right. It feels safe, but how safe is it? It's like, you don't really, like, you're not happy. Like you're just always living in this fear of gaining weight or not. What happens if I don't follow the plan? And usually it's just doesn't feel good, and it really stops working as the older that you get. So you asked, what is my recommendation? I would ask them, why are you working out? Why are you eating this way? Because it's clearly not to feel good. Okay. It's clearly driven by fear of gaining weight, which is why you have the desperation of needing to control. Okay. And it's no easy task to switch this, right? You've really got to do the inner work. But man, when you do it, when you start to train that, hey, I work out because I want to feel good. I eat this salad because I want to feel fucking amazing. Not good, but amazing, right? Like, and you know what? Sometimes I want some cookies or I want some ice cream. And there's going to be a time for that, right? But I'm going to honor when I really feel like I want that. Or maybe it's like an experience, like, I'm at a party or something like that. Yeah. So, but it's really, it's everything comes from a place of self-love. I do this because I love myself. I work out because I love myself. I walk because I love myself, not to burn calories. And that when you do that, I rest because I love myself, because I want to take the best fucking care of myself. I don't just want to feel good. I want to feel the best.
Right.
It's like you really feel deserving of it. And every single one of your actions changes. So I'd really question, why are you doing the things you're doing? Because a lot of people say, oh, I just love to work out. Yeah, no, like if you're not able to let go of some of this stuff, it's not because you love to work out. I'm sure you do love working out, but what's actually driving you is fear of what will happen if I don't work out, fear of what will happen if I don't track my macros. And as a result, like that fear, usually it's actually going to cause you to gain weight, because there's like this obsession of needing to try and control, and you not listening to your feelings. It's just a matter of time, like where maybe I really needed bread, but I've been restricting myself from bread for 2 weeks, a month, 2 months. And as a result, there's just a matter of time where I'm going to go crazy on that bread. The body keeps score. You're not getting away with it. If you're not listening to your feelings, it's going to come back and bite you.
Mm.
Yeah,
I love this so much. And it's like you have so much fear that's preventing you from the self-love, from the love
exactly.
that you want to, focus on taking care of yourself. So, Natalie, I feel like you and I could chat all day, and I love everything that you're about, that you help other women with. One question that I ask all of my guests on the show is, what does beyond the scale mean to you?
That like gives me chills just thinking of that. Uh, it's everything, honestly. Like I used to be so obsessed with weight and look, and it was killing me. It was literally a life of just torture. It like beyond the scale means is everything. It should have nothing to do with the scale. And like it's not like I'm large or anything, I'm fit, but my goal isn't to look a certain way. It's to feel my fucking best. And my best, what that means is feeling light, feeling light in my stomach, feeling flexible, feeling energized, feeling like I can run up a mountain and not have to train for it. It's listening to my body. It's being able to take a day off or a week off from the gym, and just go into nature and just feel so connected to myself. It's like there's so much more, right? It's yeah, it's everything. Beyond the scale is everything. It's about feeling good. It's not about looking good, but when you actually feel your best, that's what allows you to actually to really to look your best, but look and feel your best. Not like look your best and like hate your life, have no freedom to go camping or go, out to eat or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's all about feeling your best. That's what we're all here. That's why we want the body in the first place. We want to feel good. But if you're living in fear like all day every day, like it's you're not getting all of it. You're only getting half of it. Yeah.
Well, I know that our audience is going to get so much value out of our episode together. Where can people find you?
Yeah, so I'm most active. I'm not active on Facebook. So I'm most active on Instagram. Natalie.Newhart is my Instagram profile. And then you can also, I'll just give you a link, but they can just schedule a call with me. I do complimentary coaching calls. Just, so people can kind of feel out a different way of getting fit. It's coming from a place of like learning how to create this balance, learning how to take care of yourself. Yes, it's slower, but it actually works. It's longer, but it's more effective. It's lifelong happiness and fitness and balance. So yeah, I just say Instagram. I mean, you can check out my website. It's natalienewhart.health, but Instagram, and schedule a call with me.
Awesome. Well, Natalie, thank you so much. And for all of you listening, thank you so much for joining us for another episode of the Beyond the Scale podcast. As always, make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and share this episode with all of your friends. Until next time, you guys.